had a bit of a standoff. Hello, boys. So I have to go away for the weekend, so I'm hoping to let them have a little extra playtime tonight since they won't really get any. For sure not tomorrow. Possibly not Sunday. It'll depend on what time I get home. So I'm gonna let them hang out a lot. They've been feeling good, running around, having a good time. So things have been going well, and they're enjoying their new layout, clean cage, and everything. I added a new wood bird perch in there, and also bought them a new bird foraging toy. It kind of just has like some paper and wood blocks and like stuff for them to chew on in there. And I added a couple new little tubes for them to hide out in, a new box up top, which you can't really see. So I gave them some new things to play around with. And before I go upstairs, one of their water bottles is almost completely full. One is about half full. I'll probably just completely fill the other one up. But in the meantime, I took out all their food things. This foraging wheel, the drawer foraging thing. The only thing I left in is the bunny thing, which is just loaded with like the bigger stuff, so like lab blocks and pasta and banana chips, because everything else will just fall out. And then I loaded up their kebab with apples and carrots. And then I decided I kind of have this like little random assortment of things that I was kind of putting some of it in here, some of it in here, some of it just scattered around. So I decided to finally just combine it all into one big mix. So everything that's in here, I have this tropical carnival food, which has a lot of like nuts and seeds and like dried fruits and vegetables and stuff like that in it, which supposedly is nutritionally complete on its own, but I don't really know. And then I've also got some mealworms in there, some veggie pasta, some Cheerios, some banana chips, some dog food, some broken up low sodium rice cakes. What else? Some flax seeds, because someone told me that's good for their coat, and some lab blocks. So it's kind of just a big old mixture. And yes, it is in their old litter box. And yes, I did clean it first. But I'm basically just gonna put it all in a mix rather than kind of putting some of it here and some of it there, because I think maybe that'll help prevent any selective feeding. Not that I can really tell that they're selective feeding, but since I am kind of putting different foods in different locations, it could be affecting what they're eating most. So I'm gonna put it all together, put some in here, scatter some. I'm gonna leave a lot. Fizbin is under there, goofing around. He keeps trying to drag this blanket like into that tube. It's not really going well. Oh, I also got them a little cat toy, which is just like a wicker ball with some feathers on it, and he seems to enjoy that. He seems to really like feathers, so I thought he might enjoy that. Yeah, so it's going everywhere except for in their little bunny thing, because like I said, it would just all fall back out. So that should be good. Give them some more variety all in one location. And then they've got, usually I only give them either apples or carrots, but today they have both. And Fizbin's doing all right lately. Are you stuck down there, Fizz? I have been kind of doing the method of just kind of leaving my hand in here. I only do it with my gloves on though, because he does nip at the gloves, but when he realizes he's not hurting me, he also kind of leaves. So I've been doing that a lot, and I also just always wear slippers and stuff. Like I was standing in there earlier to get all their stuff out and put their new box in and everything, and he was just coming over and standing on my feet and I think marking my slippers. He didn't really nip much, so that seems like a sign of improvement. I did talk to a breeder, a local breeder that I had initially intended to get babies from before these guys kind of fell into my lap. And I kind of asked her, someone had suggested that maybe having more rats might help with them gaining some more confidence and like being like role models to kind of show them how to interact with a human, you know, getting some well socialized others in the cage and stuff. But after talking to the breeder, they said that the way Fizbin has been acting seems to be pretty classic hormonal aggression, and so they would be concerned about adding more rats, particularly babies, into the mix, just because with hormonal aggression you don't really know how he'll react to them, which kind of was my thought as well. So and she also said, you know, a neuter may not be worth it because, you know, he may not live through it or it may not help, and so it's kind of a crapshoot, and it's a lot of money to spend on a crapshoot. So she was kind of like, well, you know, it's really up to you if you want to try that. It's not really a guarantee of anything. So I think I'm going to kind of keep trying to see if we can make it work without a neuter, just to spare my wallet and spare the risk to Fizbin's life. Because he and Tribble seem to be getting along better, so if it's just me that he has a problem with, we might be alright. But I guess time will tell. And as far as the food goes, this is kind of my first attempt at a mix. And I mean, I've watched videos. I watched the Isamu Rat Care video on making a simple mix. And so the only thing I really have been cautious about even attempting to do it for myself is getting the proportions right. Because a lot of the things that she mentioned in her video are things that aren't really available in the US. And I haven't really found a US equivalent of the things that she was talking about necessarily. So I'm not really sure where to start. So this is kind of like my version, but I just need to, I think, do more research to make sure my proportions are more accurate, because this is kind of just hodgepodge throwing things in here, and I think I have a lot more grains than anything else. I don't really have a ton of fruits and veggies. I don't really have any greens, so I'll have to workshop it, but at least, you know, they've got some varied nutrition and getting some good stuff in them. But yeah, I'll load this back up and put it back in their cage and then just let them play some more before I say goodnight or say goodbye for the weekend.